Young Thug is scheduled to appear in court today in Georgia on related charges. The rapper, whose real name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, was one of 28 people named in an indictment in that state.
A viral tweet would go around on Twitter stating, and I quote, "Expect YSL rapper Young Thug's lawyer to push for a mistrial shortly. His lawyers have an edge on the prosecution, which could lead to a strong case for a mistrial." As rappers in the industry have played a huge role lately in helping Young Thug look innocent inside of the courtroom, as rappers gave Thug's lawyer Brian Steele all of their blessings to bring up their rap names, including their music inside of court, as Brian Steele would go down a line shouting out rappers in their songs that all replace the letter C with the letter B, whether it's in their lyrics or even in the song's title.
Post Malone, do you know who Post Malone is?
I know who he is.
Have you heard him do that?
I have not.
Okay. Meek Mill, you know who that artist is?
I do.
Have you know that?
No, sir.
Are you familiar with the song Jumped Out the Face by Meek Mill?
I'm not.
And Post Malone, you are familiar with the song?
No.
Are you familiar with Juice WRLD?
I know who he is.
Are you familiar with, instead of cooling, booling, B-O-O-L-I-N? Are you familiar with that song?
I'm not.
Okay. Trippie Redd, you know who that is?
I know of him.
And do you know the song Bust Down, again, booling rather than cooling? YWN Melly, you know that rapper?
I do.
The song Till the End?
I don't.
Future, you know who that is?
I do.
Absolutely going brazy, you know that?
As the prosecutors against Young Thug were trying to make the case that in all of Young Thug's music, he never uses the letter C. This is because he has to replace everything with the letter B due to him being in the Red Street Team. However, with Thug's lawyer proving to the jury that tons of music artists also do the same thing, it basically is just proving that it is more of a music style and taste for each listener. As Young Thug's lawyer is the reason that he's going to be getting released soon. Today, he would cross-examine the Special Forces Street Team investigator who has been following Young Thug and YSL for over a decade. Young Thug's lawyer would go on to expose him in front of everyone inside of court for the lack of research that he does.
Okay.
Now, I'm assuming, I don't want to assume, you went through that entire Tumblr account to educate yourself for your testimony for the jurors, am I correct?
No, sir. This is the only post from this Tumblr account that I've reviewed.
You didn't look at all of Mr. Williams' Tumblr account?
No, sir.
How did you know to review this one picture?
Well, when the state asked me to review these particular tweets, this is one that was linked within one of the tweets I was asked to review, and I was asked to review this post from that link.
You weren't curious to know what else is on that Tumblr account?
I was not, no.
Well, since you come back, I'm inviting you to look at it if you want to. But every one of those posts has to do with music. Do you realize that?
Objection, hearsay.
It's not hearsay.
As you can even tell that Young Thug's lawyer was stunned to hear that this investigator barely even did his job. Brian Steele would then continue standing on business. He would challenge the investigator to go home, do more research on Young Thug, then come back with an answer.
Do you know, as you sit here, what all the other Tumblr posts deal with?
Objection.
Basis.
It would be speculation because he said he has not
I
reviewed.
stand the objection.
You do me a favor. If you come back, which I'll call you if you need, I want you to review all that Tumblr, okay?
Sure.
Account. And then you tell the jurors everything else that's on that Tumblr account, okay?
Sure.
And tell them if it has anything other than music-oriented promotion, okay?
Well, I would say even this photo has more than just music promotion.
That's great.
And if you understand the court system, you would realize how big of a risk Young Thug's lawyer is taking right there. He is 100% confident that Young Thug is not doing anything illegal. And this is all really starting to seem like a joke and embarrassment of the entire police department, having their main investigator of 10 years not even doing his job of investigating. However, it would get crazier from here. Thug's lawyer would then defend, weirdly enough, the YSL snitch Trontavious Stevens, as Trontavious gave the definition of the word slime very recently.
Word slime, what does it mean?
Good question. That's a good question. So, the essence was flowed, The L is for love. The I is for I. The M is for me. And the E for everything.
That is the only thing that slime meant to you when you had a tattoo put in your body.
Yes, ma'am. That's what it means to. That's what that tattoo means to me.
Is slime ever used in any other kind of way? As by you or any of the people that
Like breaking it down. Like breaking it down. How I do it.
know, like the meaning of the word slime.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
However, the investigator on the stand said that that was a lie, and that is not what the word slime means to all of these YSL members. So Young Thug's lawyer then was ready for this, and he played a song inside of the courtroom that was released 5 years ago. In the lyrics of the old song, it says the exact same thing Trontavia said, and what the definition of slime truly is. So Brian Steele would expose him once again, and then embarrass him in front of everyone, asking if he even knows how to use Google.
Did you hear that, Detective?
I did.
Okay. Now, when you gave your testimony yesterday about you've never heard anyone describe slime in the way you just heard on Mr. Williams number 142, did you ever do a Google search?
No, I did not.
Did you know that question was coming?
No, sir.
You had no idea that the state was going to ask you that question?
No, I thought you meant your question.
No. Yesterday on direct exam, you knew that question was coming, right?
I did. I knew the state was going to ask me what slime meant, yes.
And did you do anything in preparation to say, I want to make sure my testimony is accurate?
I did.
But you never bothered to Google music?
As it seems, the best investigator that the police department had didn't even do a simple Google search for the last 10 years. And with this being the state's best investigator, Young Thug's lawyer is going to be pushing for Young Thug's release very soon. But do you believe that this is enough for a mistrial? Because Young Thug's girlfriend, Mariah the Scientist, does believe it is, as she would go on to reveal what their plans are for when he is released from jail.
Do you think that marriage is the next step for you, Young Thug?
I mean, when he gets out of jail?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think either of us want a jail wedding. Yeah, but I feel like he definitely wants to be married, and I feel like I do too.
Do you ever imagine life outside once he's out?
For sure. We talk about it all day. Okay. All day long. I mean, I feel like being imaginative can help every human being on earth not lose your mind. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, it is like a little slight state of delusion.
As the only evidence the investigator ever shared was that in Young Thug's older music videos, he is self-snitching for being a part of a street team. As the jury would be shared this old video of Young Thug recording a music video where he is throwing up hand signs that are a part of a street team.
Did you see Mr. Williams putting up any identifying signs within that first few seconds of the video?
I did.
And what was he doing?
He was throwing the B's again, the 2 guns, and he also threw a 5-point star.
In that particular portion at 1:30, do you see Mr. Williams throwing up any?
I did.
And what did he throw up?
He threw up the again.
Why this is important is because of the crimes that Young Thug was allegedly a part of were at the exact same time of these old music videos being recorded. So they showcase several music videos of Thug throwing up his team's hand signs. However, things would even get crazier when they would go on to reveal that Young Thug has allegedly several videos of himself snitching on social media.
Now, have you had the occasion to view any videos with Mr. Williams in which he either himself self-identifies or associates himself either as a member of Rock Crew and or a member of YSL?
I have.
How many videos have you seen?
I don't know the exact number, but a few.
Okay. For the purposes of this testimony today, have you seen 3 specific videos as it relates to this testimony today?
I have.
But the very concerning part was right when this topic of conversation was over, and right before recess for the weekend, the prosecutors would go on to ask the investigator one last question, which could confirm that they're trying to do a complete takedown of the Atlanta music scene, because they're also now going after Lil Wayne, as the prosecutors would ask the investigator on the stand about Wayne's affiliation, including his tattoo.
And are you familiar with who this individual is?
I am.
And who is that?
It's Dwayne Carter.
Okay. And does he have another name that he goes by?
He does.
And what is that?
Lil Wayne.
And are you aware, through any of your non-trained experience, if Mr. Carter, Dwayne Carter, self-identifies as a member of?
I believe that he does.
Okay. Tell the jury, if you need to stand with the stick, and point to what those identifiers are within Defense Exhibit 31.
There's a large MOB across his chest, often used particularly by West Coast, but is used across the country. He has 5 red 5-point stars across his chest.